With companies pouring cash into developing their own AI and investors doing the same, betting on any stock that even mentions the emerging technology, which companies will climb to the top and stay there? Gene Munster, Deepwater Asset Management, is here to discuss. Gene, no one better to try to separate some of this hype from reality. Duolingo, for instance, we talked to last hour, they're all excited about using AI. Stocks up. Investors love it. Chegg's selling off for the same reason. What about Google here?
I think, Kelly, that this is a big opportunity for Google, and Deirdre set it up really well, what was announced. And I just want to emphasize this was huge news that Google just came out with. And what was most significant was that search is going to be the starting point for their generative AI experience. It was unclear going into this event whether they were going to try to separate out different like chatbots, generative experiences with search. And so when I think about that question, which companies are going to benefit by that, it's going to be which companies are going to be able to harness the power of their bases. Google has, they announced today, they have 5 different products that have over 2 billion monthly active users. Facebook has, Meta has 2 billion monthly active users. They have 5 products over that. And so this is a huge deal today, and I think it really is going to promote a debate about whether or not Google is going to be a big beneficiary here. I'm a believer. Deepwater is an owner and investor of Google based on what we think that they can do in AI. But of course, this question about the 10 blue links that came up in Deirdre's comments earlier is that is a huge dynamic. This new interface that they showed is very different than the search that we all know. And that search is the lens that the world essentially sees the internet through. And so that's why Google is going slow. As Deirdre mentioned, it's in labs right now, and they're going to kind of test it. It was unclear when that's going to be rolled out. So if you try a Google search today, it's going to look the same as it did before, but big opportunity for Google.
What just came into my mind, Gene, is new Coke versus old Coke. What is the risk that Google screws this up and that people don't take to the new Coke?
Well, this is the innovator's dilemma. And if they stick with the old Coke, I think that the old Coke is out the door. AI is going to have this transformative impact. Hard to understate how big it's going to be. And so Google needs to turn the page. They recognize that. People want more. The expectations are higher. And so, yes, there's a risk that they botch this. And that's why the stock hasn't taken off right now. But if they get this right, and they've been working on this since 2017, this is not like a flash in the pan for Google. They've been steadfast at the AI theme, been very clear that they want to enable this. But if they ultimately get this right over the next 1-2 years, this could have a massive impact. And just to give you a sense about that, is that it's right now we essentially go to Google search if we want to navigate, if we want to be informed about something, or if we want to buy something. But you could start to use Google search for generative opportunities too. You want to write a speech, you want to do some notes for a different project you're working on. It's endless. And so there's an opportunity, essentially, this new Coke. I don't think there's a question whether or not new Coke is better than old Coke. I'm a big Coca-Cola fan. But in this case, they're turning the page, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. They did show at I.O. a couple of kind of the flashy toy department, I'll call them, features around what they're doing with photos and maps and Gmail and Docs around that. They're all kind of nice. But the real substance of today is there's going to be a new search interface, and we're not going to have as many 10 blue links. But if you do want to buy something, they'll understand that, and they'll show you ways to buy things, and advertisers will play into that.